Hello. My name's Michael, and it's social distancing day one, Sunday morning. I just woke up. All I've had is coffee. I haven't done anything productive. So, what I want to talk to you about right now is something called Movementsnacks. Rather than trying to concentrate all of our exercise into like an hour once a day, maybe it'll be more productive if, in addition to that hour trip to the gym or that big workout that's planned and written out, we do small bits of creative. What's that word I'm thinking of? Not ad hoc. What do they do in sketch? Becky, what do they do in sketch comedy where they make things up?
Improv.
Improv. So small bits of improv movement. That doesn't mean it's random. We can be thinking about what we're doing, but it can be creative. And being creative also relieves stress. It's good for your brain, and it's just more fun. There's nothing worse than working through 3 sets of 10 over and over again, and it feels like a chore. But if I can just start moving and having fun, it's a little freeing. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And this might look similar to something we do in class during question of the day, and that's exactly right. I call it like a ground flow, but I'm just being creative. And as I move, I'm trying to connect these things in a logical way and try to make it look good. So it flows together. So ground flow, movement snack. So I just woke up. I'm going to move for let's say 5 minutes. Don't have a timer. Hey, Google, start a timer for 5 minutes called movement snack.
All right, a 5-minute timer called Movementsnack, and that's starting now.
All right. So let's start laying down. So we're going to build with intensity. So we're laying down. There's also a term called human development sequence. So let's kind of roll back and forth a little bit. Human development sequence says we can build our movements according to how a baby builds their movement in their lifetime. So the first thing a baby does is it lays. And this is a logical way to increase intensity. So we're laying down, and we're going to build that. And now let's learn to roll over. So we'll just kind of shift our body weight and roll over. I'm not really counting reps when I do stuff like this, but I'll try to a little bit today. So we'll aim for 10-ish. That way I'm giving these different joints adequate attention. So I'm going from prone to supine just by shifting my body weight. And I'm really reaching long with my arms and getting a good waking up those shoulders. So now let's look at building our base. I'm going to retract my forearms. Oh, look, now I've got my chest up. Let's do that. Reach long as you do it. And then as you come up, try to get taller. Press down with your shoulder blades. All right. Now if I continue building my base, what would come next? The lower body. All right. So forearms down. I'm going to pull my knee up. All right. This is already, let's just alternate sides. This is already a good bit of hip mobility. So see how far you can get the knee up. Can you get it all the way up to your elbow? As you do that, push your pelvis to the floor. See how low you can stay with that knee up. Wow, I wish I did this more often when I woke up because this feels amazing. All right, now keep the knee up. Bring the other knee up. All right, look at there. We built our base. Now, let's rock up to our hands. And now, I've suddenly realized this kind of puts me in a good wrist mobility. So y'all know the deal here, right? Knees wide, feet back. We're going to rock between a frog and a wrist stretch. And that just kind of happened, right? So think about how these things just kind of flow together naturally. And then when we talk about building intensity, right, our home workout movement of the month is going to be the burpee, right? When I'm in my wrist in this kneeling position, it's a fraction of the body weight that would be on my wrist if I hit the ground in a burpee, right? So we're building that load and building that intensity on the joint. If you go straight to warming up a burpee, your chances of aggravating your wrist are much higher than if you started with a lower intensity like this. All right. Everybody say hi to Maggie. Come on. All right, from here, where are we going to go next? Maybe do a sitting position. So let's bring a leg through, and here we are in our side bent sit. Everybody knows this is one of my favorites. This is great for the hips. We're just going to move around, and then let's shift to the other side. As I try to square my hips, I'm really fighting to get more internal rotation on that rear leg. Lengthen the spine and do some good mornings and get into that external rotation on the forward leg. Then switch sides. And again, it's not about being performative, but like try to make this stuff look good. Try to make it flow. So as I go through, challenge yourself. If you use your hands, make it look minimal, right? Keep your spine long. Try to be alert, chin up. Try to make it look like you're comfortable moving on the ground. Push through the earth. Whoa, that's 5 minutes already. I guess I could probably stand to go much longer. Hey, Google, stop. I'm going to go ahead and extend this out. I'd like to at least get up to maybe standing. Just woke up, and so I'm thinking about, I've been all night lying down. I'm building up to standing, which will carry me through my day. And now think about the ranges of motion I'm putting these joints through as I come up. So I'm going from that side bent sit. So now, as I bring my knees up, I'm getting a lot of knee flexion, deep flexion here. That's something we don't do in our everyday life. So these movement snacks will really kind of push these ranges of motion. Now, so I went from side bent sit, bringing those hips up. Let's do that a bunch on one side. This is also getting those glutes really warmed up and still pushing that internal rotation on the rear leg. Come over to the other side. So some side bent sit. Just think about activating the glutes and bringing the hips through. Hey, Google, start a 5-minute timer called Movementsnack. Let's see if we can get this done in 10 minutes.
Sure, a 5-minute timer called Movementsnack. And we're starting now.
All right. Now let's keep the hips up on this last one and bring this rear leg. I'm going to sweep it through. All right, now I'm in an easy kneeling position. And this will put me in a position where I can actually get up off of the ground if I want to by just lunging through this rear leg. But let's get some more weight into this lunge. Think about this front ankle. All right, this is where we would be in the bottom of a squat. So let's load this partially. And then back, switch sides. All right, I'm coming towards you now. Push through. And I'm just doing this by feel, by what feels good. you'll see all the components of a squat and what I'm doing. Hip flexion, ankle flexion, right? But at much lower intensities of what you would see in even an air squat. And that's important. If you jump into an air squat when you're cold, it might hurt. It might be really uncomfortable. And that's really not good for morale. It's maybe not really good for your body. So flow into it, build it up. Everything I've done thus far feels amazing, you know? And that's the point of these mobility warm-ups. All right, I feel like I've really gotten in to those joints involved in a squat pretty well. So let's maybe push into one. All right, so we're in the side bend sit. If I bring those hips up like I've been doing, now let's just shoot the feet back. Now let's build up into a deep knee bend. A deep knee bend would be the balls of the feet on the ground, but not the heels. This is a much easier squat to get into no matter what your mobility. So let's try that a few times. So we were on the ground, knees on the ground. Use your hands. Find the balls of your feet and then walk yourself back. Deep knee bend, spine long. Now, it's much harder to have deep knee bend's much easier than a flat-footed squat, all right, from the mobility wise, but that doesn't mean we can't start transitioning to one flat foot per side, right? So I'm going to shift over. I'm still on the ball of the foot on one side, but I'm flat foot on the other. Now start biasing your weight on that flat foot, and then shift to the other side and bias your weight. And with time, if we need to, I can widen my stance. But let's get to where we have both heels on the ground. Maybe I'm raising my hips, but we're going to try to get a good squat. So in order to get my heels flat and my spine in extension, I have to go really wide because my mobility is not good enough to do it at this point with my feet narrow, but that's fine. So I've worked into a point where I got both heels on the ground. And now I'm going to shift my weight, just trying to wake up this position. So this is what we call a sumo squat. Now I'm going to come back down to the ground. I'm going to kneel and sit. And kind of a cool down from all that squatting, I'm going to get into a little bit of rolling. Right now, I'm not looking for it to be a workout. I'm not looking for it to be uncomfortable. So that sumo squat was getting to be a lot of work. So I'm going to shake it out with a little bit of rolling. So ball yourself up, roll, maybe into a hurdle stretch. Wake up those hamstrings even more. Put them through a range of motion. Don't hold anything static. Don't sit here and hold it. Static isn't what we want when we're getting ready to move. We want to go through the ranges of motion, but dynamic. Let's roll. Sit it. Oh, long sit. Let's find a long sit. So we're going to sit up. Someone might be kind of tough on the mobility. Push yourself up. Hands behind you. Let's do some glute bridges. 10. Let's hold the top on some of them. Drive up. Tabletop position. All right, one more. And then let's walk back up to that deep knee bend. So we're walking up with our hands. Balls of the feet on the ground. All right, arms out to kind of counterbalance. Now we're going to try to keep our spine in extension, and we're going to raise our hips and see if we can find our heels on the ground, i.e. the bottom of a squat. Oh, we found our heels. Good. And stand. Okay, Google, stop. So now I feel like I'm ready to squat. All right? 10 minutes, and I think I'm ready. Arms up, squat down. And yeah, I don't feel stiff at all. I think if I'd have done this right out of the bed, there would have been a lot of moaning, a lot of creaking, but I'm feeling pretty good. So, this was me just ad-libbing, a little ground flow.
10 minutes added to your timer.
Hey Google, stop the timer.
Sure, it's canceled.
So that was me, 10 minutes, just kind of getting moving. I woke up all my joints involved with a squat. I woke up everything I think would be involved in a burpee. I'd still probably want to, do a little more specific work. Which would you do in class after a ground flow? but I'm primed. Try it out. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can muster. Just try to make it look good. Share the video if you want. All right, y'all, have a good day.